Thank you, Israel. Thank you, United States. We will never forget the help you made, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless the United States of America. God bless President Trump.
Love you, Trump. You can't imagine how we are appreciate our country, our people. I'm really appreciate. We love you. Thank you, Mr. President Trump. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you, Mr. President. Dear Mr. President Trump. I'm so happy. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, Trump. You are the best man in the world. I love you, Trump.
I want to have a big thanks to President Trump for keeping his promise and freeing people of Iran that has nothing to do with this government, with this terrorist government.
Thank you, Israel. Thank you, United States. We will never forget the help you made, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless the United States of America. God bless President Trump.
Love you, Trump. You can't imagine how we are appreciate our country, our people. I'm really appreciate. We love you. Thank you, Mr. President Trump. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you, Mr. President. Dear Mr. President Trump. I'm so happy. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, Trump. You are the best man in the world. I love you, Trump.
I want to have a big thanks to President Trump for keeping his promise and freeing people of Iran that has nothing to do with this government, with this terrorist government.
Thank you, Israel.
Shalom, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Berjumpa lagi dengan saya di channel Penabur Benih. Saudara yang dikasihi Tuhan, mari kita melihat dan bagaimana respon global terhadap serangan Israel dan Amerika Serikat kepada Iran dan kematian pemimpin Iran Ali Khamenei, di mana Israel dan Amerika Serikat melakukan serangan militer terhadap Iran pada Sabtu 28 Februari 2026 waktu setempat. Dampak dari serangan tersebut mengakibatkan sedikitnya 200 orang meninggal dunia menurut otoritas Iran. Di antara korban yang tewas terdapat pemimpin tertinggi Iran Ayatullah Ali Khamenei serta sejumlah pejabat tinggi lainnya, termasuk penasihat politik senior pemimpin tertinggi Iran Ali Samkani, Menteri Pertahanan ASIS, dan Panglima Tertinggi Korps Garda Revolusi Islam Muhammad Pakpaur. Serangan tersebut juga berdampak terhadap masyarakat sipil, salah satunya sekolah dasar putri yang terletak di kota Minab, terletak di provinsi Iran bagian selatan. Menurut pejabat resmi Iran, setidaknya lebih dari 100 anak-anak tewas. Namun di satu sisi ada banyak orang yang merayakan kematian dari seorang pemimpin tertinggi Iran, di mana mereka bersorak-sorai merayakan kemenangan tersebut, bahwa mereka sudah berterima kasih kepada Donald Trump dan juga Benjamin Netanyahu dan juga beberapa tentara IDF yang melakukan serangan tersebut. Namun di satu sisi banyak hal juga yang disayangkan di Indonesia, justru mereka lebih berduka cita daripada Iran yang sesungguhnya. Karena itu, saudara yang dikasih Tuhan, mari kita melihat bagaimana respon dari orang Iran. Mereka merayakan tentang kematian Ali Khamenei, di mana mereka bersukacita bersama-sama oleh karena kemenangan, kebebasan, dan kemerdekaan mereka dari rezim yang ada di Iran tersebut. Mari kita melihat video ini, dan juga ada seorang murtadin yang mengungkapkan perasaan isi hatinya selama ini, di mana ia meninggalkan Iran ketika ia menjadi pengikut Kristus dan juga ia melarikan diri ke Amerika Serikat. Berikut ini videonya, nonton sampai selesai. Semoga ini menjadi berkat bagi kita semua.
Thank you, Israel. Thank you, United States. We will never forget the help you made, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless the United States of America. God bless President Trump.
Love you, Trump. You can't imagine how we are appreciate our country, our people. I'm really appreciate. We love you. Thank you, Mr. President Trump. God bless you. God Mr. President Trump. I'm so happy. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, Trump. You are the best man in the world. I love you, Trump.
I want to have a big thanks to President Trump for keeping his promise and freeing people of Iran that has nothing to do with this government, with this terrorist government.
Thank you, Israel. Thank you, United States. We will never forget the help you made, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless the United States of America. God bless President Trump.
Love you, Trump. You can't imagine how we are appreciate our country, our people. I'm really appreciate. We love you. Thank you, Mr. President Trump. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you, Mr. President. Dear Mr. President Trump. I'm so happy. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, Trump. You are the best man in the world. I love you, Trump.
I want to have a big thanks to President Trump for keeping his promise and freeing people of Iran that has nothing to do with this government, with this terrorist government.
Thank you, Israel.
Apakah Iran menyerang Israel karena dia pro dengan Palestina? Jawabannya tidak. Karena Iran menyerang Israel karena dia diserang duluan, sederhana. Gitu kan ya? Dan ada video tuh Netanyahu ngomong ke publik, bikin video. Apa yang dia bilang? Dia bilang begini, saya berbicara pada rakyat-rakyat Iran yang terhormat untuk dalam tanda kutip menggulingkan pemerintahan yang sekarang untuk balik lagi ke masa lalu. Tahu masa lalunya apa? Dia ngomong sendiri. Kita udah jelasin di kajian kita tuh. Apa masa lalunya? Iran sama Israel itu bestie. Baru tahu. Karena yang ngebuat kuil Sulaiman yang kedua itu Iran, itu Persia. Maka mereka dulunya bestie. Maka Netanyahu bilang, mari kita kembali ke masa lalu di mana kita bestian. Bahwa Sirus Agung itu adalah raja Persia yang luar biasa, itu membangunkan kuil Yahudi buat kami. Maka gulingkan pemerintahan Anda sekarang, lalu kemudian ayolah bareng-bareng kita main bola. Itu kata dia tuh. Artinya dia bukan untuk Palestina, dia justru pengen menjadikan Iran sebagai bagian bestinya dia.
Ini dua negara yang saling serang, dua-duanya pembenci Islam. Yang satu Iran membantai umat Islam sampai ratusan ribu di Syria, di Irak, di Yaman. Masa kita tutup mata dengan itu? Quran mereka beda sama Quran kita. Semua sahabat dikafirkan oleh mereka, kecuali 5 atau 6 orang saja. Ummul Mu'min Aisyah dihina-hina. Dari mana kita menganggap diri kita sama dengan mereka? Dari sisi mana samanya gitu? Mereka membantu umat Islam, ahli sunnah dengan tidak memandang, dan mereka anggap itu ibadah ya. Mereka menganggap itu sebuah ibadah, dalam tidak merasa berdosa sama sekali. Begitu juga dengan yang satu lagi, membantu umat Islam di Palestina, sama. Ini zalim dengan zalim, gitu kan? Tapi saya, Allah alhamdulillah dengan kacamata saya ini tanda kutip banyak sekali permainannya, gitu ya. Saya bukan ahli strategi perang, tapi saya melihat ini semua adalah permainan yang diatur. Karena ini kayak satu kesatuan, ini adik kakak ini, atau saudara kembar, sama aja.
If you're not Iranian, you better shut the fuck up. You don't even know exactly where Iran is on the map. You don't even know the difference between Persians and Arabs. You don't even know that Iran is one of the oldest civilizations in the world with more than 5,000 years of history, while the Islamic Republic has only been in power for 47 years, and most Iranians are not even Muslim. You don't even know what it feels like to live in one of the richest countries in the world, but still be broke with no reliable water or electricity, while your fucking government powers crypto farms, pocket the money, and funds terrorists across the Middle East instead of importing vaccines during COVID to save its own people. You don't even know what it feels like when your regime shoots down a passenger plane full of your own people in your country and then calls it human error. You don't even know what it feels like to live in one of the most beautiful countries in the world with 4 seasons, ancient history, incredible tourist attractions, amazing food, and some of the best and kindest people on earth, but because of a stupid government, you barely get any tourists each year. You definitely don't know what it feels like to peacefully protest in the street for all of these and just be answered with bullets. In just 2 days, the Islamic Republic killed over 50,000 protesters. I'm telling you, anyone who's upset about what's happening right now in Iran isn't Iranian. We Iranians are very grateful to the US and Israel for killing that dictator and helping us take our country back from that bastard regime. Europe has seen it before. Dictators don't just leave. Sometimes outside force is what ends them, just like it did in France, Germany, and Italy. And just so you know, we do have an alternative as well. Prince Reza Pahlavi is the only person that all of us want, not anyone from inside the regime and not the terrorist group like Mujahideen Khalq. If you're not Iranian, you better shut the fuck up. You don't even know exactly where Iran is on the map. You don't even know the difference between Persians and Arabs. You don't even know that Iran is one of the oldest civilizations in the world with more than 5,000 years of history, while the Islamic Republic has only been in power for 47 years, and most Iranians are not even Muslim. You don't even know what it feels like to live in one of the richest countries in the world, but still be broke with no reliable water or electricity, while your fucking government powers crypto farms, pocket the money, and funds terrorists across the Middle East instead of importing vaccines during COVID to save its own people. You don't even know what it feels like when your regime shoots down a passenger plane full of your own people in your country and then calls it human error. You don't even know what it feels like to live in one of the most beautiful countries in the world with 4 seasons, ancient history, incredible tourist attractions, amazing food, and some of the best and kindest people on earth, but because of a stupid government, you barely get any tourists each year. You definitely don't know what it feels like to peacefully protest in the street for all of these and just be answered with bullets. In just 2 days, the Islamic Republic killed over 50,000 protesters. I'm telling you, anyone who's upset about what's happening right now in Iran isn't Iranian. We Iranians are very grateful to the US and Israel for killing that dictator and helping us take our country back from that bastard regime. Europe has seen it before. Dictators don't just leave. Sometimes outside force is what ends them, just like it did in France, Germany, and Italy. And just so you know, we do have an alternative as well. Prince Reza Pahlavi is the only person that all of us want, not anyone from inside the regime and not the terrorist group like Mujahideen Khalq. If you're not Iranian,
to all of our friends around the world, under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls. So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act towards its neighbors and the world after the fall of this regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately. A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The State of Israel will be recognized immediately. We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world. A new chapter will begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policy making will be transparent. Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision. It is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, now is the time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular, democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership.
Halo, Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi semua saudaraku yang ada di Indonesia. Sekarang banyak pemberitaan tentang perang di sini. Ada yang banyak ya, bukan ada, banyak yang bilang katanya pangkalan militer Amerika Serikat yang ada di Kuwait, Qatar, Emirat, sama Arab Saudi dibombardir sama Iran. Nah, saya di sini kerja di Riyadh Hospital, bisa cek di Google. Riyadh Hospital sama pangkalan militer Amerika Serikat berhadapan. Di sini aman, tidak ada bom atau keributan musyakil Aisyah nggak ada di sini. Itu mungkin pemberitaannya terlalu dibesar-besarkan, jadi ya campur hoak ya jeningnya. Yang jelas Arab Saudi sekarang cuma siaga demi menjaga keamanan mungkin, tapi kalau yang namanya dibombardir itu nggak ada. Cuma bagi saudara-saudara kita yang ada di sini, saya mau sedikit pesan. Sawi jahaz, seperti pakaian kita atau apa, yang penting itu dokumen kita. Dokumen seperti paspor, KTP Indonesia, jangan cuma ikamah atau apa. Tadi saya lihat pemberitaan, katanya kalau ada terjadi apa-apa di sini, kita dipulangkan sama KBRI, jadi kita harus sawi jahaz, terus harus selalu melihat pemberitaan yang benar seperti di Al Jazeera gitu. Tapi yang jelas di sini aman. Tempat kerja saya dekat berhadapan dengan pangkalan militer Amerika itu di bawah. Saya kerja di Riyadh Hospital, itu berhadapan, tidak terhalang apa-apa. Berhadapan sama pangkalan militer Amerika di sini. Tidak ada kehancuran di sini. Insya Allah kita baik-baik saja. Terima kasih.
Lucky me, I was born after the revolution, so I was born into the Islamic country. And to top that, I was also born in a family where my father was a sheikh, a step higher than imam, and my mother was a Quran teacher. So I pretty much was raised a strictly Muslim. At home, at a school, on the streets, everywhere. When I was getting ready to go to school, at age 7, when they handed me my uniform, it had a hijab, a white piece of headscarf. And I asked my mother that I was under the impression that I don't have to wear the hijab until I'm 9 years old. And she said, well, yes, that is true, and it is not mandatory for you to wear it yet, but you need to prepare yourself, you need to master it, and you need to learn how to wear it. So when you get to age 9, you're all good. And you don't have to wear it on the street, but you do have to wear it at school. Okay, put it on. First day of school, my father took me to school. On the way there, the first thing I noticed was that boys are going to school, but they're wearing whatever they want. So I asked my father, Dad, why am I wearing a hijab and they're not? My answer was a punch to the face. I asked the second question, why are you punching me? He looked me in the eye and said, you'll never question Allah. Okay. Fast forward to when I was 9 years old. I got an invitation to take to my parents. I did it from school. I did it, and they said, yay, there's an event coming up, and we gotta go, and it's a ceremony. It's called Requirement Day, and we need to get ready for it. Okay, what do we do? Well, first you need to master your prayer. And you need to master it, you need to learn it in Arabic. A question came to my mind at that age, and it was the fact that, wait a minute, Allah is supposedly my creator, but He expects me to be bilingual, but He's not Himself. So I have to learn Arabic so you would understand what I'm saying. That was the first red flag for me. Master the prayer. Then I had to master the prayer to call to prayer. I did that. And then they showed me my gorgeous wardrobe. They handed me a burqa. Are you all familiar with burqa? It was color white because it was a day of celebration. They put me in a burqa, put a black headband on top, with a giant red rose or some sort of flower, and we went. I walked in, and the room is filled with 9-year-old girls. Some of them I knew because they were my classmates or from my school, some of them I didn't know. And for the record, same day, every single city in the country had the same ceremony going on for their 9-year-old girls. And Imam came on stage and started citing Quran and talking about Muhammad and Islam and Sharia and all that good stuff. And he went on saying, starting today, all of you 9-year-old girls in this room under Sharia are officially an adult woman. You will be responsible for your actions. You will pay consequences. You will follow Muhammad. You will die or kill in the name of Allah. Oh, and if your male guardian decides it's time for you to get married, you will do so. I have never tried to tell anyone how I felt because so many emotions were running through me. But the strongest one was anger. I was pissed off. I'm like, wait. So until now, I'm just a kid. The only thing I have to worry about is my grades, my school, classmates, friends, dolls, and like that, I'm an adult woman. I could possibly be a wife. I could possibly become a mother. After that, they told us to get up and repeat after the Imam. He started saying the Shahada, which is basically the testimony you give to officially become a Muslim. And technically, I've been called an ex-Muslim, but in reality, I'm not an ex-Muslim because I was too pissed off to repeat after them all. So I didn't say the Shahada. So as an adult, I didn't become a Muslim. But in Islamic Republic of Iran, when you're born, they stamp you a Muslim and you don't have a choice. After that, considering the fact that I was an adult woman and I was responsible for my own actions, I managed to get myself in a lot of trouble. Until I reached the age of 14, I was arrested over 12 times. And every time I was arrested, I was put in prison or detention center. And just to note, because I was an adult, there is no juvie system in Iran. You go to prison where real life adult criminal women are being held. So I shared my cell with them. I managed to get lashed over 100 times. And I was raped, I don't know how many times, lost count. And just so you know the crimes I committed, I was arrested once because I was wearing nail polish. Now, why is that a crime? If you're wearing a nail polish, that is a proof that you're not doing your prayers. Because as a Muslim, when you do your prayer, you have to do the prayer wash-up. And you can't have anything blocking water from touching the areas that you're washing. Hands are one of those areas. If you have nail polish, the water isn't touching your nail. Therefore, you're not doing your prayer. I was arrested because completely accidentally, my hair was showing from back of my hijab. I was arrested because I went to a party when boys and girls were in the same room. And everybody at that party, including myself, we earned ourselves 35 lashes. Except the host, he actually earned himself 75 because he was a promoter. I also got arrested once because with a good friend of mine, classmate, we were walking home and we decided to whisper the song we like. We got carried away and we started singing loud. We got arrested and they took us to detention center. We were both 11. They had to hold us at detention center until morning where they could send us to the court to see what's going to happen. And somehow, while we were there, they find out my classmate, my friend, is not a Muslim, but rather she was a Baha'i. That was the night that I was forced to watch my 11-year-old friend be sodomized all night for being a filthy non-Muslim. I don't know what happened to her. She did not come back to school. And we were sent to the two different courts, so I hope she stayed alive. Another time, I decided to sit in the front seat of a cab because the back seat was full. As the back passengers were getting off, I didn't bother to move and go sit in the back. We got pulled over by morality police. Here's the thing, and by the way, whatever I tell you, please do not take my word for it. Every information I'm giving you is available online thanks to technology today. As soon as you're pulled over by morality police in Islamic Republic of Iran, and it's a couple, a man and a woman, the first question is, what's your relationship? I said, nothing, I'm a passenger. The driver said, no, we have a relationship. They took us in. In the morning when I went to court, I kept on telling the truth. I was just a passenger. And the judge asked me if I can bring someone else to testify to my testimony. And I said, well, no, we were alone in the car. He said, well, technically, because under Sharia, you are half of a man, your testimony counts as half of his testimony, so I'm going to have to take his word for it. You're sentenced to 75 lashes. I'm not going to bore you with more of my stories and criminal acts, but you get the picture. When I was close to my 14, my father, being the sheikh, devoted Muslim, just had it. I was bringing way too much attention to our family and I was too much of a troublemaker. So he figured it's time for me to be somebody else's problem. One day he told me I am going to marry that guy. I'm not kidding, literally. He looked me and pointed at the guy. That guy. I tried to cry my way out of it, beg my way out of it, even fight my way out of it. It did not work. So I became, back then I thought I became his wife. Later on I learned it's called the child bride. The man who bought me, yes, he purchased me. He paid $50 American dollars and opium for about a month of usage from my father. He kind of sort of had a habit of looking at me as a punching bag. So he had me for over a year. And every day, if he wasn't beating me, he was raping me. If he wasn't raping me, he was beating me. Or sometimes he was doing both. I went to my father and I asked him to get me a divorce because my father, being my legal guardian, had the power to do it. He looked at me and said, well, I know you. you're not the type to bite your tongue and obey your husband. So he has no choice but to beat you. He sent me back. A little later, one day when he was done beating me, he left, and I figured, wait, if I can somehow get myself to court and go into a courtroom and talk to a judge, looking the way I look right now, he might just feel sorry for me and do something. So let's do it. I walked into a courtroom with a dislocated shoulder, bloody lip, and a bruised face, eye area. And I went to the judge and said, Your Honor, you have got to save me because this man will kill me sooner or later. He was looking down at his papers. Very calmly, he looked up with a smile and said, well, young lady, maybe if you start obeying your husband, he wouldn't have to beat you. Now go home and make him happy. That was the moment when I realized I'm a hopeless, helpless teenager. That no one in my country, in my home, it was called home for me. No one cares and nobody's gonna save me. One way or another, he's gonna find a way to kill me. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna even know I existed or what happened to me. Thankfully, I was blessed to have a grandmother who was against everything that was going on, not just with me, the entire country. She was raised the time of King before the revolution, so she had a very clear vision that there's a better life. There is a time and there are people who respect women, and they respect a 9-year-old girl as a little girl and not a woman. So she was against it all. She managed to hire a smuggler to get me out of the country, and I was smuggled to Turkey, where I became a legal immigrant under United Nations, went through proper channels, waited close to 3 years until I was legally approved and accepted to America. I came in as a refugee, and I came in to have a better life. I came in to enjoy freedom that America offers. And the proudest moment of all of my speeches is when I can inform you, starting in 2010, I am officially a very proud American citizen. Aside the fact that I love saying this because it is really, it makes me feel so good. I think it was the best achievement of my life ever. Aside the fact that it makes me feel good and it makes me feel proud, I also mention this because I want to make sure that you all know I don't do what I do for paperwork. I don't do what I do to get my citizenship. No, I do what I do because of what I went through. Now, I was a lucky one. I was blessed. Lucky me, I was born after the revolution, so I was born into the Islamic country. And to top that, I was also born in a family where my father was a sheikh, a step higher than imam, and my mother was a Quran teacher. So I pretty much was raised strictly Muslim. At home.
Ya, demikian videonya saudara yang terkasih dalam Kristus Yesus. Itulah yang kita sudah lihat secara bersama-sama, di mana ada yang merayakan tentang meninggalnya Khamenei, seorang presiden yang begitu terkenal dan juga kokoh dalam menjalankan rezimnya di negara Iran tersebut. Dan kita akan melihat sudah berbagai macam cara yang mereka lakukan. Ada yang merayakannya dengan kesedihan dan juga ada yang bersuka cita karena dia sudah terlepas dari aturan rezim yang telah berlaku di Iran. Namun berbagai reaksi pro dan kontra menanggapi kematian Ali Khamenei. Beberapa jam setelah berita wafatnya pemimpin tertinggi Iran tersebut, sebagian masyarakat merayakannya. Salah satu penduduk di Teheran, Iran mengatakan masyarakat senang Khamenei telah meninggal. Selain masyarakat di Iran, melalui beberapa video yang tersebar di media sosial, diaspora Iran di berbagai negara merayakan kematian Ali Khamenei dengan sukacita. Putra mahkota Syah terakhir Iran, Reza Pahlavi, mengapresiasi upaya yang dilakukan Amerika terhadap Iran. Melalui akun sosial media, Pavlevi mengatakan menyerahkan kepada rakyat Iran, nyatakan kesetiaan kepada programku dan sistem transisi dan serahkan kekuasaan tanpa pertumpahan darah. Lebih lanjutnya, tetapi sebagian besar masyarakat Iran beraksi sedih dan marah terhadap konflik yang terjadi karena mengakibatkan banyak warga sipil yang meninggoy, khususnya karena kematian dari Ali Khamenei, anak-anak sekolah akibat serangan militer juga. Fatima S. Michael mengatakan, penduduk Teheran, kamu telah menjadikan imam umat kami syahid. Kami akan membuat kalian berduka. Kami akan menghapus kalian dari muka bumi. Kalian kira kami sedang berkabung dan berlutut? Ya, kami memang berkabung, tetapi kami belum tumbang. Dengarkan ini, kami akan mengajarkan kepada seluruh dunia kesalahan besar yang telah kalian buat. Sampai berita ini ditulis, konflik antara Israel terhadap Iran masih berlanjut. Sekretaris Dewan Keamanan Nasional tertinggi Iran, Ali Larijani, mengatakan melalui media sosialnya, kami tidak akan bernegosiasi dengan Amerika Serikat. Iran saat ini masih dalam masa berkabung selama 40 hari setelah mengkonfirmasi kematian pemimpin tertinggi Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Demikian saudara yang dikasihi Tuhan, semoga Iran cepat dalam keadaan membaik dan juga mereka sudah bebas dari rezim yang telah berlaku di Iran, dan semoga banyak orang yang sadar dan menerima Yesus, mengalami pertobatan dan juga perjumpaan dengan Tuhan secara pribadi. Tuhan Yesus memberkati kita semua.